Hey guys, it's the Muffin here. So I actually learned that you can save 20% on all your World of Tanks Blitz purchases. You actually do this through downloading the Amazon App Store on your Android device. But I'm going to put the links in the description below, and I'm going to go through a quick walkthrough right now on how to download and save. Tanks and Blitz can range anywhere, sometimes brand new, $50 to $100. And saving 20% on that purchase every single time is way nice. Save yourself $20. So let's go in and check it out. Links below. We'll go ahead. If you're in the US, click on the US link. If you're in the UK, click on the UK link. You'll go down in here, and there's a button that'll tell you to click. You click on that, you go through, follow these steps. So thank you for downloading the Amazon app in the App Store. We'll go here. Make sure to install it. Here we go. And there it is. The app is installed. So now we'll go ahead and you can either sign in as a new guest or you can sign into your current Amazon account if you have one. And I've actually seen some other vids of other YouTubers that have done this. It is legit, so you can save quite a bit on in-app purchases. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. And once you're in the Amazon App Store, go ahead, download World of Tanks Blitz, and literally that is really all you'll do. You'll go in the game and you can immediately see a lot of these benefits made available to you. You can go right into the area, the store on where you can buy gold, and see quite a significant price difference. So wanting to save you guys some money, I thought this was a great way to do it, especially if you're an avid tanker. You love a lot of the tanks in the game. You have a desire to get them, whether you're a tank collector, whether you think certain tanks are pretty cool. This is a great way to save money. And now let's go ahead and jump into our video. All right. So just kind of totally random, just thought about talking about my favorite tanks for each tier. Going into tier 1, I honestly don't even know who plays tier 1 or tier 2 for fun. I can't even remember the last time I had played tiers 1 or tier 2. I don't even have much of a preference here, but if I had to choose one, it would probably be the Panzer II. I don't even remember why. I just remember having a good experience with it just like way back in the day. I don't even know if it's the same tank since I had played it like years ago. And you guys will have to let me know what your favorite tanks are. This is just totally my opinion. And honestly, I base it more off of fun rather than like this is the best tank in the game. So you'll just have to go off of more of the fun factor. Tier 2, it kind of the same thing. I don't ever really play tier 2. I guess if I had to choose one, probably the Panzer 38H. I remember, and who knows, maybe some of you will remember this, when the T2 car came out, I think I had like a vid or something at one point where I had brought this thing out and played it when they had just released the T2 cars, like a Christmas free tank they gave to everyone. And literally you'd go into a room and everyone is playing the T2 car, and that car could not, or that tank could not penetrate at like anything on this tank. And I would have the whole team trying to penetrate me, and it was just so funny. For tier 3, this is more of just me showing off, but I would have to say the Kennyotsu, just because it's so rare. And not only that, but this thing has like the DPM of like a tier 7 or tier 8 tank. It's just crazy. I think it's like over 2,000. Another one I really like and is also kind of fun is the Panzer IIJ with just such trollish armor. I think they might have like buffed the pen a little bit on this. I remember coming across like Hetzers or M3 Lees back in the day and not even being able to penetrate, but I think this thing can now, but let me know if I'm wrong. Like I said, I haven't played low tier tanks in a long time. Going into tier 4, tier 4, I would have to say my favorite is probably the Covenanter. Love that little 2-shell clip. It's pretty fun. Love the maneuverability. Quickly get around the map. But that 2-shell clip is pretty fun. And let's go into tier 5. Tier 5, the Gargoyle is kind of reminds me of the Panzer IV from way back in the day. I think it was before update 5.5. I talked about this before, but seriously, just so fun with that derpy cannon, and they kind of brought it back through this Gargoyle tank. I love how derpy it is. I mean, just look at this thing. 350 max, 313 max roll using premium ammunition. You look at a cannon of any other standard Panzer IV, I mean, just way less. So, I mean, derpy, pretty fun. Tier 6, my favorite. I would have to say I really love, just because I am just such a history buff, the Tiger 131, because the statistics of this tank, and according to the research I was able to find on the stats of how the real Tiger historically performed, this is the closest thing that matches engine power to weight ratio, the cannon that was actually used on the real Tiger, its armor thickness, its, I think, gun depression. Like, I think Wargaming had really put in to make this thing work and function, kind of feel like the original Tiger. So I'd have to say the Tiger 131. Sorry, my kids are playing outside, so that's why my front door cam is going off. For tier 7, I would have to say probably the LTTB. This thing is got to be one of the most trollish light tanks. It has incredible maneuverability, really good engine power to weight ratio, combined with the fact of how its armor is angled is just ridiculous. I've bounced so many rounds off the rear of this thing, the front, and as a light tank, you just don't ever really get that outside of the lovely Russian bias LTTB light tank. So I really like that thing. I think it's pretty cool. And then for tier 8, I would have to say, now this is a really tough one because I love the iconicness of the Tiger 2, and especially this camo. Oh, it is just so, so beautiful. But I'd have to say it's a tough, because I really like this one, but I also really like the Russian Su-130 PM. So trollish. Even though this thing has no armor, the upper plate, when looking at this thing, I get a lot of bounces, and compared to the Scorpion, I don't get a lot of people shooting HE at this, just because this thing will deflect or bounce so many rounds, and sometimes I've even had a lot of people hit my barrel with an HE round, not really doing much damage to me. And so, this thing is great maneuverability. It's got such a low profile, really good camo rating. So that would have to be for tier 8. For tier 9, it is a really tough call between the AMX 30. This thing is absolutely amazing in my opinion. such a good tank, excellent turret. That frontal armor is really good. You don't have any big, weak cupolas, great maneuverability. You got the view range, you got the gun depression. This thing is such a beast. And the T30 is just so amazing. Not like a lot of other TDs on how you play with this thing. Play with this thing more like a heavy tank. So you kind of have the joy of playing like a heavy tank, but having this massive TD cannon. I think it's like 155 millimeters. Is that what this thing is? Yeah, 155 millimeter cannon. Super derpy, 640 average damage, excellent penetration. So, I mean, I really like this tank. And for tier 10, there's a lot of good ones. I would have to say it's kind of a mix of a few things, but trying to really narrow it down. I really like the M60. I feel like it's just got it's a really well roundabout tank. Good view range. I feel like it's got good cannon, decent armor. It's just a very capable medium tank. But I've been really having fun, and a lot of people disagree with me on this, with the VK72. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you know what? I am really liking the VK72. I think it's a lot of fun. It's really derpy, 640 average damage cannon. Looking at the front of this thing, it doesn't have as big of weak spots, and if you know how to wiggle and angle this thing just right, you can bounce a lot of rounds, and enemies will just give up and even trying to shoot you. Massive gun mantlet. You're not even going to get through. You do have to watch out for the sides. I did make a recent video on that, so maybe check it out. But anyway, here's my list. Share yours in the comments below. This is the Muffin here. You guys stay cool and keep tanking.